Hello everyone, Sony is here, and with me today is Josh and Saint, as per our usual weekly thing. However, last week we didn't do a podcast because the sound sounded like ass.
Whose fault was that?
Yours.
What? Hey, I fixed the problem. You didn't set it up.
I fixed the sound.
Well, no,
Ben
I fixed the initial.
What Ben doesn't want to tell you, or Sodius doesn't want to tell you, is that I wasn't there. So he was missing his pretty boy for the video, so he didn't want to go on without me.
Hey, it was a good video.
It
but
wouldn't have been the same.
It's just a shame someone can't configure OBS properly.
Listen, it's working. Okay.
Nah, it is now.
Listen, if you annoy me, I'm going to replace you with the pumpkin. Okay. So, Saint, how's your week been? Anything you've played this week, or have you been too busy?
I've been, to be honest, with the way the weather's been here, I've been sleeping more than anything. Got a little under the weather, but I did play a little bit of the Whistleblower DLC for Outlast.
Yeah,
I should have played that a while back, but I don't know, for some reason it just never occurred to me to buy it. You know what I mean? And I saw it on sale. I was telling you the other day, I saw it on sale for $2.25, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
That was a really good sale.
It's pretty good. I didn't get very far.
Shit, but
I got like 2 hours in.
are you still going? 2 hours in?
Well, yeah,
I can't
because I'm
remember
having.
exactly how
I'm not
long-
used to. I'm not used to basically playing hide and seek from a lot of the enemies. You know what I mean? I don't know the layout of the level well enough to hide efficiently, or the patrol paths of the dudes.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting the hang of it. But yeah, it's I like it. The story is really interesting so far. You know what I mean? Figuring out how the information got out to the main character of the first one, stuff like that.
It kind of
It's really
links
awesome.
it together really well.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a lot of fun playing that, and the main game too. It was a very good start to this.
The main game was so
potential new
fucking
series.
good.
Yeah, I
I
can't
can't wait for the
Outlast
second
2.
one. Sorry.
Fuck you, Saint. No, it's good. You'll have to. I'm surprised you're not streaming it. It's perfect stream material. I know people have played it before and whatever, but still, people would like to see your reactions.
Maybe I'll do it.
You should. Josh,
I'm not far enough in that I can't restart. So.
you done anything this week on your non-existent PC?
No, I feel quite like I'm portraying the PC market, PC gamers anyway. I went out and bought Forza 3.
What on Xbox One?
Xbox One, yeah. I feel
Okay.
really ashamed. To the point where I paid for it to be next day delivery. I got it Thursday, and I played it for about an hour, and it's now Sunday. And So
It's usually how I feel. Like Titanfall 2, I just haven't had time to play.
it's not that I haven't had time to
quite
play it. I
honest.
I just felt, now that I've got it, I'm just like, do I really even want to play this game? It's a good game, I must admit. It's a good game, but yeah.
Oh, hey me! Thank you for the rehost. Yeah. So, do you actually like it, or are you just
No,
not?
yeah, no, I do like it. It's just that it's not really a game. Well, it is a game I'd play, but it's not a game that I'd play a lot. Basically, it
I've
wouldn't.
never really been fond of racing games.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a bit of a story to it and all the rest of it, but a lot of it's online play and all the rest of it. And being the fact that I'm in a box room on the other end of the house with wireless, it's just so shit I can't even stream a video on. It's just pointless. But anyhow, can't wait to get a PC so I can actually play some decent games.
Yeah.
that'd
As
be
far
great.
as racing games go, I don't know. I miss games like Underground too, because
Oh, that was
you had a
amazing.
lot of even though a lot of people prefer the more racing simulators. I mean, I have love for the racing simulators. I played the shit out of Gran Turismo and all that, but the reason I like, say, games like Underground 2 was the level of customization when you had with your cars and stuff like that. I love that aspect of the arcade style racing games.
Well,
It just feels so much better.
they've started adding all that to that level of detail customization back into it. I mean, like Forza Horizon 3, they've added like massive styling kits and all the rest of it, just like Underground and all the rest of it, where you used to be able to change it, like all the aspects, all the bumpers and all that stuff, that you get like preset kits that instead of just bolting on random crap, you can actually get kits and all the rest of it, which is
Oh, that's
interesting.
nice.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool.
but it's still quite not. I don't think it's ever going to be quite as detailed, because it's more about the racing, isn't it, as opposed to designing a car that you
Yeah.
like the look of.
Yeah.
This week's just for me has just been Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2. That's
Yeah, that's
pretty
the
much all
other thing. I was
played.
playing
don't think
Battlefield
I
1
don't
with
think
you
I've
for a
touched
bit.
anything else at all this week, actually. Oh, I played this new game I got given. I don't remember the name of it, but it's basically two players who are invisible, go around trying to scare each other, and it does it quite effectively. And for a game that's indie and only has 2 people per match, I really wasn't expecting to get into.
Is that that game that you just every now and again?
Yeah, you saw me playing it last weekend.
The skull was just coming up every now and again, and you look like you were shitting yourself every 5 minutes.
I wasn't shitting myself, but it was just like you can't see the other person, so you have no idea when it's going to happen. It was a decent game. I might stream it at some point. But other than that, Battlefield 1, loving it. I've kind of gone off it a bit in favour of Titanfall 2. I was streaming Titanfall 2.
Have you been playing the story though, Battlefield 1?
Yeah, completed the story.
You completed it?
I completed it. I completed it apart from the one in the desert. That one I haven't done yet.
Yeah, Angry Joe said I was actually watching his review, and he said it was an incredibly short campaign. I didn't get to ask you yet. How short? How short was it for you? He said he got like I think 8-9 hours out of it. I think.
Yeah, it's about an hour per story, and there's 5 stories.
That's pretty disappointing for a single player aspect of a game. I guess it's not bad for a shooter. I guess it's not too bad for a shooter, but you still expect a little more.
The first one, the tank one, is the longest. Me and Josh played that for a while on stream. Other than that, the airplane one took about an hour, and the others were just, short stories. They were really good for what they were, but it would have been nice if they were longer. Now, a game that originally didn't feature a campaign, Titanfall 2, they've made the campaign now, and it's really good. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
The thing I've heard, the best aspect I've heard about the single player, is the bond between the pilot and the Titan. Yeah,
it was really good. Oh, you're watching us. I was like, why are you just watching a random fucking video? Didn't realise it's an ad. Yeah, no, it feels a lot more fluid than the first one did. A lot more guns, and the Titans are more varied. And so far, so good. They've done a good job. And not everyone just gets a Titan straight off the bat. You have to really work for it. The better you do in the game, the faster you get your Titan. It has like a percentage bar that goes up.
That's just a kill streak, isn't it, basically? The longer you kill streak, the more...
not a kill streak. But
I might have to check that out. It's too bad you bought me Battlefield 1 instead.
I'm not buying you Titanfall.
No, I'm not saying you should. I was just saying, I mean, it's not that... My biggest problem with Battlefield 1 is...
I think you would like Titanfall 2 better, just for the sheer... It's more skill. You have to, like, jump around and try and flank the enemy. And people die a lot faster, too, I feel. So...
That's good. I don't know, like, I think my biggest problem with Battlefield right now is the map design. I just don't, like... I haven't found enjoyment out of any of the maps I've played on yet. Not one of them.
Too few maps. Like, they're either... Like, the desert one has 2 different maps, especially if you're in Team Deathmatch mode. But other than that, there's just a handful of maps, and it doesn't feel like there's enough variation for a purely multiplayer game besides the very short story.
Well, I think my issue with, like, I think you noticed this too. It's like a lot of the maps, like, you can hole up in one spot, and whoever controls that one spot in the map pretty much wins the game.
Most part, if you have the high ground.
I mean, realistically, that's the way a lot of combat works, but it doesn't feel as good in a video game. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. Like, a lot of people knock COD for just being like a kiddie arcade shooter. Sometimes, I mean, I like COD. I do. The only problem I've ever had with COD is they don't change the formula up enough each game. That's my biggest issue with it. Yeah. Other than that, it's a really good game. It's got some of the best maps I've ever played too for an arcade shooter as well. But the one thing I like about COD, I like the fact that you're okay to run around, run and gun. It feels, you actually feel kind of like a badass, you know what I mean? When you're, just running around gunning people down. You can't really do that in
kind of run into people
Battlefield.
More, and it's sort of...
Yeah, because the maps are
necessarily more fast-paced, but...
The maps are more tightly designed.
Yeah, they're more balanced. So, anything else you guys want to talk about for what have you been doing in the past week?
Other than the fact that I got shit-faced last night, no, not really. I went to a Halloween party. That was pretty fun.
I didn't get shit-faced
Well, yeah,
last
you
night.
didn't. You really let us all down.
Fuck you. I went out with a pure purpose to not get shit-faced. After that night in town, where I pretty much died.
Well, you didn't even get into town.
I didn't even make it out the door.
Didn't make it out the door. You were just in a puking mess. But
yeah. So
you were
last night I was. He's such an asshole. Why do I invite you here?
Well, at least you remembered getting home, right? Because at least you didn't have me where I'm like, dude. You want to talk about hardcore drinking, man? There have been plenty of times where I'm at the bar and I wake up in my bed and I'm like, how the fuck did I get here?
At least you got home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was. Put it this way: I sacrificed my night to get you two out, and you didn't drink that much.
I had a few drinks,
You had
and
a
I
few
enjoyed
drinks.
myself. I talked to people.
I mean, it was different. It was interesting at night actually
They were
for me
really
because
good clubs.
there were some good places to go, and it was nice to be able to walk out of a club at 4 o'clock in the morning or a pub or something, and just get in your car and drive home while everyone else is crawling home. It was quite a nice feeling.
Well, yeah. Other than the fact that you had an ass hanging out the window.
Right, well, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, you guys were telling me about that before.
I'm gonna have to show the stream the photo that we had of Andrew.
Do we have one?
Yeah, I've got it on my.
Oh, what, the one when he had his face paint?
Yeah, his face paint.
Okay.
Not.
I was about to say, did you take a picture of Andrew's ass?
No. So this is our friend who
I don't know if you want to show it to this camera.
we took out last night. He came out with. You're not going to be able to see this scene. We'll probably have to send you this later, or on Facebook or something. We took this guy out, and obviously we were taking him out. His intention was to get pissed up and have a laugh and stuff like that. Because it's Halloween, he likes to take the piss a bit and dress up. So he sort of went out with the idea that he was just going to throw some random stuff on, and then we bumped into someone who does face paints as well. So that's the result of.
Oh, yours is a shit picture.
Mine's
Let me
not
show
bad.
mine. Yours is a terrible picture.
Why is that?
All right, I'm actually watching the stream to see how this goes.
That's
Yeah.
how's that bad?
That's the half
Look,
finished.
there you go. That's full.
No, that's the half finished. Look at it. It's not even finished.
Fine. Where's your
Jesus
picture
Christ,
then?
Look at that. Much better.
That's the same picture.
No, it's not.
Anyway, just show the stream.
God damn it, kids, calm down.
Anyway,
Get your shit together.
It's creepy as fuck.
you can see that too well on there. It was insanely creepy.
Especially like for me driving home at 12 o'clock at night when it's pitch black, and all you have to do is look in your rearview mirror and just see him smile
see
at
his
you.
face.
It's just so.
Oh my
freaky.
god! What the fuck? That's a dude?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh no, that poor guy.
And he actually came up to me and told me that he was at the bar and some guy tapped on the shoulder and he turned around and he goes, "Oh, I thought you were a girl."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why wouldn't they think that? Look, oh man. That's all right. Because of my long hair, when I worked at Walmart, like say I was stocking and somebody came up behind me, you have no idea because of my long hair how many times "Excuse me, miss" happened.
Oh.
And then I turn around, I've got a full beard and shit, and they're like, "Oh."
That's amazing. Alright guys, let's get into the news. So, any of you big Pokemon fans? I know you play Pokemon Go.
I like
play
Pokemon.
Go.
Yeah.
But in general, are you a big Pokemon fan?
Yeah, I like Pokemon.
Or you look at upcoming Pokemon games
I wasn't
and go,
privileged.
I wanna play that.
I wasn't privileged to have a Pokemon
Game Boy.
Game Boy when I was younger. I did borrow a few people's, all the rest of it every now and again, but played the card games and watched the the series and stuff like that. But
Well, Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS is coming up, and already it is the most pre-sold game in Nintendo history. That's pretty impressive considering Nintendo's had some pretty big games. That's how very much how they've survived this whole time, despite their consoles being meh. You getting that same? You told me you played it, haven't you? You told me
Yeah,
you
I
checked out a
played.
demo.
I played the demo. I think my biggest issue right now is I don't like the new region because it's all like I don't know. Pokemon games tend to have a happy feel to it, but this is like they're really hammering that happy feel in this game.
Really?
Like, yeah, really, really hammering that. I mean, that could change as you play further in the game, but it's, like, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against, like, games, wanting to make you feel good, whatever, but they're really pushing the happy-go-lucky feel in this game. Really pushing it, and I don't know if I can handle that. To the extent that they're
I don't
going.
understand the new Pokemon, the Aloha forms. Like,
I was.
that necessary?
Oh, by the way, if either of you intend to get it, make sure you download the demo because you get a special Greninja from it. Anybody who wants to get it, that includes anybody watching. Make sure to download the demo. You get a special Greninja.
Cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, I remember a while back they were doing this promotion where you go to game stores, you can get a code for the other games, and every month they would have a different Pokemon for a while.
Yep.
And I got all of them, and I don't even know the other games.
Speaking of Pokemon, right? I have something really cool to tell you guys that I haven't told you yet. You know that really big anime convention I told you about that I go to every once in a while, Ben? Otakon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be staff at
What?
Otakon this year because I'm going to be helping running a Pokemon event we're going to have.
When is
We're
it?
gonna have. I'll have to get the dates for you. I can't. It's next year sometime. But
Okay.
what's gonna happen is, I'm going to be. We're doing a gym leader thing, where 8 of us staff are gonna be gym leaders, and then another 4 staff are gonna be the Elite Four, and people are gonna come and challenge our
That's
gyms
awesome.
and the Elite Four.
That is awesome. You have to let me know when it is, because I'm coming back to America next. So let me
Yeah,
know.
that'd be
I might
fun.
pop by. Speaking of Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch has recently been announced, and we're now slowly getting alleged specs of what exactly.
Yeah, let's hammer home that we don't know if these specs
Yeah,
are
they're
are
not. They're not set in
concrete yet.
concrete. They are alleged. They've come through various different sources, but they sound about right. So first off, it's going to be 720p, which it's a handheld console. Really, what do you expect?
I mean,
I
the
didn't
Vita has
expect
a higher
1080p
screen
from the get-go.
resolution, so
For the screen size, you're
Wait,
not
what
really
does?
going to notice a huge difference anyway, really, are you? You're
Not,
not going to
on-
need
not
a
like that. No. not on
1080p
a-
4K screen or anything like that, are you? On a size that big?
No. And besides, it can be docked to become a console
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
for the main,
Yeah.
your main TV.
Which
and
they'll probably have it
whatsoever.
upscaled through to the TV, possibly.
Yeah. It's going to have a 6.2-inch touchscreen, which will have 10-point multi-touch functionality, which is better than any other touchscreen they've done so far. That's kind of cool. It will have 2 removable controls on either side, and each control can be played by one person, so you can have 2 players playing on the same console. And it looks like possibly can connect others. I'm not sure about that yet.
if the trailers are anything to go by, it looks like you saw the controller that they were
Did they have
using for
multiple
like the main
consoles, or
TV,
did they?
Yeah, it looked like they had like some sort of like.
and they had it set up where 2 of them were playing basketball, and you can play use 2 of them to make a 4-player game, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it looks like it appears that there's going to be like a what would you call it, a pairing functionality between them.
Like a local
Yeah.
networking thought.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. And Josh, you said you've heard that it's going to be 16 gigs.
Yeah.
Where did you
So
hear that?
16 gig internal memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do we know if it's going to have expandable memory? That's going to be pretty important.
I would say maybe
If it's
it could, I suppose.
built on like the previous like the Shield or Android or because it's using the
Wow.
Nvidia Tegra
Yeah, it's
chipset.
using the NVIDIA
Yep, Tegra.
Tegra.
chip.
So if anything to run by, then it's most
It
definitely
could support it, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
That would be good because that's one. Even the 3DS at this point has expandable memory.
Well, then
so.
mind
Oh,
you,
okay.
what would be put on the memory? Because I'm pretty sure they had like the game chips were like interchangeable.
They have more.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you can buy digital games from the store
Oh
too.
yeah, of course,
so.
yeah, digital downloads and DLC and all that stuff.
Yep.
Either of you interested in actually owning one of these?
I am going to get it just because I have faith, since it's.
I'm
I feel that
interested.
this
I'm
console
legit
is-
interested.
I probably wouldn't play it. That's the problem. I'm not very. I don't. If I travel by car. So
You don't have time.
I don't.
to
Yeah.
chill and
See,
play.
here's
Otherwise,
my
I'd
thing.
just use a computer or a console or something like that.
I think that this is going to be used more as a handheld than it's going to be used as a
Absolutely.
console.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
The feature
Yeah.
will be handy and cool. Just be a go. Yeah, I'm just gonna carry on playing my game.
Me
but in
and-
about 6 months after owning it, you're not gonna use that feature. You're just gonna use it like a DS or something. Just like have it.
If I'm
I
back,
mean, I'll be taking it to work with me every day.
if I'm back in America next year, me and Saint are probably going to have one. For Fragmix stuff, reporting on it, giving out general
I mean,
stuff like that.
I intend to have one on release mainly for when I go to Otakon this year. That way, I have something to do, like when I'm back in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Also,
that'd
I
be
mean, I don't know if I have time for that though, because partying and stuff.
We'll see. We'll work
Socialising.
it out. So anyway, let's get off Nintendo stuff. Let's talk about Bethesda. They're in the news for a multitude of reasons. One, the new Skyrim, what is it, Ultimate Edition? that what it's called?
Special edition.
Special
Some
edition,
special,
something
some sort of new spectacular edition that we
New
need to buy.
amazing thing. It has new stuff that the old one never did.
Which all they're gonna do is remaster and probably make it look a little bit better.
Yeah, it's basically remastered. And it doesn't look Any better than the current modded version that we have? Sure, on consoles maybe it'll look better because you don't have.
Well, see,
the
that
same
was.
mods.
Remember, I told you. Remember months back, I told you when they were releasing it, it only made sense to do it for consoles. You didn't need to do it for PC because with mods, we can make this game look infinitely better than it is.
Yeah, but
It's
if
not
they're
required
making it
at
for the
all for PC.
console, it doesn't take much more work to create for the PC and then have another, form of income revenue.
For them, sure, but you've also got to think about it from the modders' point of view. The modding community's now essentially been torn in half. They don't know whether to mod for the previous
But
game or to
then
mod for the new
they've
version.
got another version that's more stable, that's more up to date, which they can then expand their modding capabilities on.
Here's the thing, though. We have to find out, though, from the modders
As,
eventually if it's
MXR
going to be any better as far as
I
modding
was
for
watching
it.
MXR the other day. He does a lot of good mod reviews, and he was saying about how what's it called, to make it look really good. Oh, what do they call it? There's a core sort of plugin or
Yeah, like corporate.
framework.
We'll just say
There's a core
yeah.
framework created to allow all these really beautiful special effects in Skyrim that people build upon. And the person who made that framework is apparently not going to be making it for the remastered edition, which then the other people can't add on, like the the blooms, the ENBs, and all that fun stuff. So the remastered edition on PC will potentially never be as beautiful looking as the original edition regardless, not unless somebody remakes that
I was going to say,
original framework.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean that just because one guy I could go into.
Yeah, but no one else has stepped forward to do this. It's a big undertaking.
Yeah, but because the initial person has decided he's not going to do it, then it may make other people step up and give it a go.
I don't think the modding community is going to be as big on a remastered edition as it was for the original.
Never know. Well,
It could be.
We might know.
I mean, Skyrim's beautiful and infinitely moddable.
My thing is, I don't understand people's interest in Skyrim at this point.
I don't understand your interest in you.
I don't like.
At this point, what do you mean? Like it's because it's been so many years now that it's been released?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I
fair
mean,
enough. Once a really good mod
I can
comes out for it, then I'll go back.
okay, check this out. Right, here's why I say that. You replay games like Final Fantasy games because there's a really amazing story that goes along with them, right?
Right.
But Skyrim doesn't really have anything other than its world to offer, in my opinion. It's most Elder Scrolls games. Like, the combat's fun too, but you know what I mean? It's like beyond combat and the exploring the world, the game doesn't have much to offer. That's one of the reasons I haven't bothered finishing Fallout or the new finished Skyrim because this goes back to my open world thing that I've talked about fucking till I was blue in the face many times, but it's like you have these big open worlds with nothing going on in them, like nothing. Like the characters are boring, the story is lackluster, but you have this beautiful world with nothing in it.
Fair enough. Not gonna argue with you. Can't be bothered.
I just touched the sore spot for Ben. I just keep hammering it in there.
I don't want to play the base game, but we have a ton of mods and all these different stories people have added, and even that complete rework of Skyrim that made a whole new story. I'll go back to play those once they're released.
You know what I'd love to see?
I won't ever play the base game.
Somebody get a working co-op thing in those, and I'm down.
They worked on it for a long time. People worked on it for a long time, and it got shut down.
Exploring that world with somebody else would make that game so much better for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd actually feel like I was on an adventure then.
They got to the point where you could see other people in that game, and then Bethesda shut that project down, which was before the release of Elder Scrolls Online. So probably why they were so eager to shut that down. But anyway, also talking about Bethesda. They are now holding back review codes for all reviewers until a day before games are released, which is completely stupid. We'll get into that in a second. But their statement read, "At Bethesda, we value media reviews. Read them, we watch them, we try to learn from them when they offer critique, and we understand their value to our players. Earlier this year, we released Doom. We sent review copies to arrive the day before launch, which led to speculation about the quality of the game. Since then, Doom has emerged as a critical and commercial hit, and is now one of the highest rated shooters of the past few years. With the upcoming launch of Skyrim Special Edition and Dishonored 2, we will continue our policy of sending media reviews one day before release, while we will continue to work with media, streamers and YouTubers to support their coverage both before and after release. We want everyone, including those in the media, to experience our games at the same time. Also understand that some of you want to read reviews before the decision, and if that's the case, we encourage you to wait for your favourite reviewers to share their thoughts. So 2 things straight off the bat. Having reviewers and players experience it at the same time completely makes reviewers redundant. And secondly, people don't want to wait to see reviews. They want the game on launch. They want to play it straight out the gate. They don't want to let other people get ahead of them in these games.
Yeah.
So telling them, oh, we encourage you to wait for your favourite reviewer to share their thoughts. Bullshit. They're going to buy the game because they want it on release date.
Well, not only that, but it pushes pre-orders more, in my opinion. Like you can tell people to wait all you want, you know what I mean? But people are still gonna pre-order. So
yeah,
you know,
it's stupid.
And the biggest thing about this, though, it's super ridiculously anti-consumer. Like,
Really
people need to have that information as early as they can, and it's also important that you get those reviews out there earlier because, okay, say I have a day to review this game before it launches, right? I may not be able to play this game long enough if I'm a reviewer because I have other reviews going on, right? To find the bugs and the problems with it. I may miss something critical because of this as a reviewer.
Well, not only that, there's a time pressure or delay between you doing your review and getting it out there to your audience.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily going to be instant as soon as you receive a copy of it that you can do your thorough review of it to get it out to your audience.
They're going to be rushed because they get it the day before.
Exactly. And then consumers are going to be like, well, I want to get it day one in case it's going to be half decent, but then I don't want to get it in case it's not going to be worth buying. So then they
end up buying a potentially shit product.
Exactly.
It also impacts reviewers because before, reviewers would get the game maybe a month or 2 before the game releases, and then there will be an embargo. So all the reviewers will get their keys at the same time. They can play it. They can't publish anything until there's one specific time on this one specific day where everyone can get it in there, and there's no sort of competition to be the first. All the reviewers get it out at the same time. You know, everyone gets their fair share of exposure, and whereas if everyone gets it on before the release of the game, everyone's going to be scrambling to get it out first.
Which means things are going to be missed, corners are probably going to be cut.
The game isn't going to be played nearly enough to get a
Either that or reviews are going to be coming out far later than they need to be.
Which I doubt they will, because these companies thrive off being one of the first companies to get the reviews out.
Well, I mean, certain YouTubers will do their due diligence. Like, for example, like I could say for sure, like people like Angry Joe, Total Biscuit, Jim Sterling, they're not going to rush their review because they want it. Especially like, I really hate to put one above them all, but especially Total Biscuit because he's like, you know, he's probably one of the most for consumers, you know, one of the biggest people out there for consumers when it comes to gaming. You know what I mean? So he'll take his time with it, and that could potentially hurt him because he took his time with it to do the review proper rather than rushing it out the door like a lot of other people might be. Yeah,
it's going to cause big issues. If other companies start following this example, it's going to be hell. You know, it's not right. And to use Doom's
which damn near got shot down just on its multiplayer.
Yeah.
Damn near got shot down
on
just
chance success as the template of... They're basically saying, we made Doom and it was a critical success, therefore everything we make is going to be a critical success, so you don't even need to worry about it. Just go and buy it as soon as it comes pre-order.
Well, you know the biggest... I really hate to say this. I love Bethesda, by the way. I love a lot of things they do, but you know what? Like, the only reason Doom sold as well as it did, in my opinion, was because people already love Doom. Yeah. They already love Doom. You put Doom on a title, it's gonna fucking sell.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It's been loved before. People are gonna buy it regardless of what someone reviews it. So it's been out for years. People know and love Doom, so they will just say, "Oh, there's a new Doom coming out. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm not gonna see what the reviews are. I'm just gonna go and get it."
Yeah.
they could have any other game title that's not known, and it will flop because no one knows about it before release.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, well, remember, Ben, this is actually a really good example how I didn't personally care for this Doom because it went in a different direction than I like the way Doom 3 went. Remember,
Yeah.
we were talking about this during when Doom came out, actually. And it's like, you know, if it would have done that, I personally would have enjoyed it more. But almost everybody else preferred Doom 1 and 2 style, which is why this Doom was really popular, because that was what they wanted. They wanted the gritty, bloody, you know, what do you call it, hyper violence, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they wanted. My biggest thing, though, my biggest problem is I didn't feel like the Doom guy had any character in this game.
You didn't at all, not in the slightest. Yeah, it was like you played the game for like an hour, if that, and then you were like, "Hey, just log into my account and play it because I'm not interested."
I mean, I ended up putting more time into it. You know, I made it about halfway through the game, and even after that, it was just wasn't enough to, you know, suck me into it. You know, which is sad though, because it had some like, if you would just gave me some character, like some actual character to Doom guy, I would have loved it. Because honestly, I like the guns, I like the way they feel. You know, I like the flow of the combat. It's just, you know, like I didn't get any cool quips or anything like that from Doom guy, or any reaction out of him for the things he was doing. You know what I mean?
No.
That's one of the reasons, like, to me, Devil May Cry was one of the best, action-y games like that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Dante had a really cool character. He was really amazing the whole way through the game, especially in Devil May Cry 3. It added to how good the game already was, you know?
Absolutely. I don't know. I hope they change the stance on this. I mean, obviously, there's already been backlash.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of backlash, even from reviewers. I mean, Angry Joe, was it? No, Total Biscuit did a video about it, or completely slamming their
Yeah.
success for
Well,
votes.
It won't. Here's the thing, though, right? At the end of the day, it does nothing but benefit Bethesda. It doesn't benefit reviewers. It doesn't benefit consumers. It does nothing but benefit Bethesda.
No, not at all. So, moving on away from Bethesda talk, let's talk about Titanfall 2. This is going to be a brief one. I found out the other day, and you guys mentioned it as we were about to start the stream, is that Titanfall 2 future DLC will be completely free. Now, I'm not sure what kind of quality of future DLC we can expect, but this came to my attention the other day when I saw a post about somebody asking, why is there no season pass? Like, why aren't you guys doing a season pass? And then they just simply responded like, oh, future DLC is free, we don't want to charge for it. Which is really admirable on their behalf, but I'm wondering how much effort they're going to be putting into DLC if they're not going to be receiving money from it.
See, here's the thing a lot of people love the free DLC idea. I don't like free DLC in a way. Like, and this is gonna sound really dumb, but if they're selling the DLC, in my opinion, the good thing about that is they take the money from that DLC, right? Of course they're gonna pocket, you know, the corporation's gonna pocket some of it, but that means that they can put more effort, more flashiness, and all that into their next DLC. They can, you know, put more work in it, more time into it because they have the money to do so.
Yeah.
Whereas if, you know, you're constantly releasing free DLC, it's nice, don't get me wrong, I'll take free where I can get it, but at the same time, you're shooting yourself in the foot because you're not going to be able to make it quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the quality is definitely going to suffer from the lack of season pass or a DLC. And I didn't think I'd ever say something like that, but here we are. So, told you that'd be brief, let's move on to Windows 10 news. Now you might be wondering, Windows 10, what does that got to do with gaming? Well, Windows 10 is getting a built-in streaming service. And I do not think it's a good idea because they're not going with Twitch. They're going with a new startup called Beam, which they acquired back in August. Not sure.
I mean, even YouTube Gaming would have been a better choice than their own IP.
I mean, YouTube Gaming is sort of slightly struggling against Twitch because Twitch is so big. So bringing in a completely new streaming service, I don't think it's going to work. But their statement reads, By bringing Beam to Xbox, we're creating more interactive gaming experiences for both the player and the viewer on Xbox One and Windows 10 PCs, allowing you to watch live game streams and give you the ability to interact in real time with broadcasters. Best of all, Beam technology will be built right into Windows 10 and Xbox One, so anybody can become a games broadcaster. Asterisk, as long as you have a good upload.
They did this with PlayStation 4 as well, where you could live stream and send images straight from the console.
Yep.
I think that you're just going to have loads of people like 10-year-olds, some adults that just go, oh, I'm playing some standard game that everyone else has, and just put 10 minutes of this live bit where they have no. It's just going to be useless streams of people that don't know what they're doing, never done it before, and just be a waste
like
of
on
time.
Or the PlayStation 4 where you had like a bunch of naked girls dancing around and shit. That was the thing. That was a thing. Oh man.
I don't see it taking off. Good on them, and good on the. I believe they said it was a freaking 18-year-old who owned that company. So good on that guy.
I bet he made a lot
He's
of money out of that.
living happily.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And it kind of depends what kind of functionality they're going to add in it. Are they going to add camera controls? Are they going to add overlays like OBS? What are they going to add to make this worthwhile for popular streamers?
For the fact that it's going to be baked into the Xbox One as well, I think it's going to be a very basic click this button and you're live. That's it.
You're obviously going to have more options on PC.
Oh yeah. But I don't think it was. Again, I don't think it'd be in as depth as OBS.
It's like Battlefield 1 came with an in-game stream service, and I used it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, why would I use this over just having OBS where I can have all my overlays and proper sound controls and everything? I think it would still be basic regardless of being on PC. I don't think they're going to put in too much more effort to make the PC one more extravagant.
They'll give you a control panel, I imagine, and some sort of a customization or adaptability to it, but not as in depth as OBS will have.
No, not at all. I personally won't be using it. Good on anyone who does it. Like you said recently, Saint, you've been checking out YouTube Gaming a little bit. I think maybe it will provide some opportunity for some new up-and-coming streamers to show off and get a viewer base while it's a new service. That's generally a good time to get into things like that, is to be the first. But it's not going to be Twitch. It probably won't be YouTube Gaming. So, I don't know. I mean, good for consoles, obviously. Good for anyone who's streaming on a console.
Well, yeah. It's another way of Microsoft trying to be into as part of the market that already exists. Because, like I say, it's already in Sony, PlayStation 4, and things like that. They're just trying to be in the same area, same features and things.
So, you guys like GTA? You like GTA, Saint? You're a GTA fan?
No, not. I got burned out on the series after Vice City.
You ever play GTA 5, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did? You were playing it, weren't you? You had it on...
Got it on Xbox.
You got it on Xbox. I liked it. I liked the online mode a lot too. Problem was, there was a lot of cheaters, hackers, and it just became very unfun. But, how long has that game been released now? A few years?
Well, the online option was it was about 6 months after the initial release, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because A, I think they had loads of problems with it, and B, it wasn't quite finished. So I think the online option's been out for considerably a lot less.
Still a few years.
Yeah.
And Rockstar have finally turned around and started to make a move against hackers and cheaters in GTA Online by either outright banning accounts that have been cheating or hacking, or temporarily banning them with a message that sort of reads along the lines of, once the ban is lifted, your characters, vehicles, money, everything set. I think it's too late. Far too late. I mean,
it's better that they did something than nothing,
it's good
though,
that
at the same time.
But where the hell were they these past few years?
I think they've had a lot of issues with the online multiplayer. It's a completely different way of aspect of how they've done things before. So trying to get over the initial hurdle and trying to get to a point where the systems have been stable has probably been their priority, A1 priority. Now that they've started to settle things out, they've got new servers and it's stable, reliable, and they're adding DLC to it. Every holiday season, basically.
They do add a lot of DLC, yeah.
I think they're now getting to the point where they can control things like this now. They've got the ability or resources to be able to effort and time and money into stopping people ruining the experience.
Yeah, well, not only that, it's really a lot of people jump the gun when it comes to banning too. Like, it sucks that you have cheaters and stuff in your game, or not banning rather, but like, well, yeah, in a way banning, but like trying to stop the cheaters early, because here's the thing about a lot of that software: if you just get rid of them, like soon after they start appearing, they'll pretty easily find another way around. It's better to monitor and watch the behavior of how these things, are getting into your game, so that you won't be able to deal with it permanently, but you might be able to deal with it for a longer time if you know more about what you're up against.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. I mean, good
Like
on
that's
them.
like in World of Warcraft, for a good example. Like a lot of the times you'll see bots running around for a good while, and then Blizzard 6 months later does a huge ban wave, and you don't see bots for a while because they waited. They took their time to research what the bots were doing, how they were doing it, and they were like, all right, well, we're not going to be able to get rid of them for good, most likely, but they'll be gotten rid of for long enough that we might be able to take them on again when they come back.
Same with Final Fantasy XIV, is they sort of just wait a few months, gather as many as they possibly can, and all of a sudden do this massive, massacre of bot accounts. And it's pretty glorious, but very frustrating when you see them just running around doing their thing. But yeah, and I'm sure many people still play GTA Online. So,
but years is too long to wait, in my opinion, though. Years for that? Like, fuck that.
It should have been on that way sooner. They certainly have the manpower to do so, the money to do so. But for those who still play GTA Online, well, enjoy your significantly less fucked up community, I suppose. You know who my favourite game studio is in the whole right world?
Digital Homicide.
No. Let's not talk about Digital Homicide. We all know how that ends up. My favourite game company in the whole right world is Hello Games, and it's not because of the games they've made, it's because they're a fucking disaster. So after months and months and months of being completely silent since the disastrous release of No Man's Sky, they finally broke the silence by tweeting, "No Man's Sky was a mistake." That's the most honest thing they've ever said. Did you realise that? Allegedly, they were hacked, which makes sense because I don't think a game company, even as stupid as Hello Games, would shoot themselves in the foot like that. But emails were also sent out to press from Sean Murray's account, claiming that he was the one who did it, and how the situation is tense at Hello Games. And also, Sean Murray tweeted at Hello Games' Twitter account, saying at least someone is using that account. So there was some serious shit going on over there. Whether or not they were hacked, which it might be the case, or they had a disgruntled employee, which is also being claimed. Who the hell knows? But it's nice to see our favourite fuck up is back in the news.
I mean, I don't know. Like, this is... I warned a lot of people about this game ahead of time, too. I really did. I told everybody I knew that was interested in the game, I'm like, guys, this game is not going to be anything like what they say it's going to be. And, that's not to say anything bad on as much as everybody wants me to say anything bad on Hello Games. Like, it's just, for me, it was just common sense that in the short time since its announcement, that this game wasn't going to be that way. It's too short a time with what the size of team that they had. There's just no way it was going to come out like that.
Yeah. It was terrible all around.
Of course, silly people bought into the hype. One of them
is
is on this podcast right now.
I convinced Alyssa to buy the game too, and I feel so bad. I feel so bad about convincing her to buy it because she couldn't return it either. Oh.
Wait, did she buy it physically?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once you open a game, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. So I felt terrible about that for weeks. But yeah, well, at least we heard something from them, I suppose. Better than nothing.
I mean, It's very likely though that this is a hack. I don't think I don't even think I would even go as far as saying Sean Murray's account was hacked as well, because I very much doubt, he would send the emails and stuff like that.
They claim that servers were hacked, so whoever it was most likely had access to more or less everything.
Yep.
You know what that reminds me of? But wait, let's not go there.
What? Okay. Anyway, I don't know why. I don't know. Like, I probably would have disowned the company altogether, because the name's going to be stained forever.
Well, it's not even that though. Like, what they should. Okay, it was clear to me that Murray was pulling a Molyneux. Okay.
Yeah.
Murray was pulled a Peter Molyneux, and everybody believed it. I'm like, what are you guys doing? This guy's doing the same thing Peter Molyneux does. The same thing. He's just hyping it up for no reason.
I think that could be a fan that could have eventually just had enough and decided to hack him. Could have been,
that could be too.
Could have been like going on with the hype and the build up, got it, and just realised how shit it was, and the fact that no one ever touched those. And it probably has really bad security, so they just hacked the whole lot and just went fuck it.
It's interesting that they waited so long to hack.
Maybe the fact that they never actually did anything to fix any of the issues. They they dragged the heels with it and all the rest of it. And just someone got fed up and just went fuck it.
I don't know. I can't wait to hear from these guys in future. It makes my week whenever something goes on and they're in the news again. As soon as I saw Hello Games trending, I was like, oh yes.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest though.
What happened this time?
The only real disappointing factor for No Man's Sky for me was the fact that multiplayer didn't get into it. If multiplayer would have at least gotten into it, I would have probably checked it out.
Also, not really promised, but at the same time.
What? Yes, dude. He said.
I know.
Yes,
what
it was.
He said.
How is that not confirming it? He said, like, there are multiple things he said that it wasn't like maybe, probably, possibly. It was yes, this will be in. Like, okay, for example, how there's no other way to take this, right? So you can't see what your character looks like? No, but if somebody in the world sees you, you'll know what your character looks like.
Yeah. But
how else are you to take that?
Outside of listening to this monkey talk shit, the game was not listed as multiplayer. If you did some research into
but that's not the point though. What else are people to think?
Well, yeah, no, everyone thought it. Absolutely, everyone said, "Oh, it's going to be multiplayer, awesome!" And people spent days hunting high and low in this universe where nobody could find each other. In the first day, people were in the same area, but obviously couldn't see each other because it wasn't implemented. So yeah, overall, back up off the game. Just, I don't know. I'm really disappointed. They had a lot of potential, but oh well.
I guess they're still Star Citizen.
Star Citizen's doing well, and they're showing progress as they do it. They're showing everything. They're not hiding anything. So I really like their sort of development model.
Yeah, transparency is a pretty fucking good thing.
Yeah, and they have playable versions up already, which is amazing. But yes, anything you guys would like to add this week?
I'm just interested in seeing how this Hello Games hack turns out. If it was a hack, or if it was actually them saying, one of them doing it. That would be funny.
We'll never actually find out.
I hope we do.
Be vague or just fucking go silent again.
For my own entertainment value, I hope we get an answer on that.
Okay, guys, and that's what we're going to end it on this week. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week, hopefully, if no issues happen. See you guys next time.
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Oh, God. Here we go. I'll leave you on this note. Goodbye.